Systems Live, feeds open, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about a Thai drama, a BL. I don't know why I started it like this, but you know, we're going to continue. We are going to be talking about a BL today, and I just want to preface this one with this. Out of all the ones we've done so far, this might be the longest one that we've done. This might be the longest one we do. We'll see, because it'll be based off of how long I end up editing everything. But this will probably be one of the longer videos that I do. Than most of the other ones we've seen. Then I've posted for you guys. For one, the episodes themselves are a lot longer than I thought they would be. So, you know, a lot more happens and I have a lot more to talk about. And then two, I also really loved this series. I love this series so much. Like, I don't want to give away my rating this early, but let me tell y'all, like, this shit's high as hell. Like, it was probably one of the few that, like, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it, but let me just tell you, I really went in depth for this one. So not in depth to a point where, like, I'm spoiling everything for y'all, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have not seen it, you need to watch it, because there's definitely stuff I tell you. So, you know, and you know what? You know, it's going to be weird to hear me say this because I have not said it yet. But if you guys like it, please give it a like. And let me know, because I want to know if this setup, me going into a bit more detail, you guys might like a bit more, because I can do that. 100% I'm willing to. I would love to do that. I only just don't go in depth as much because I don't want to spoil it for everybody. But, like, to be fair, if I'm giving a review on it, you gotta know there's gonna be some spoilers, you know. I'm gonna have to tell some details, you know, otherwise nobody's gonna be interested in watching the show, you know. So yeah, but without further ado, now that you guys are aware of that, let's continue. Today we're talking about Khemjira, and for those of you who don't know what this one is, it is a Thai BL that blends supernatural horror, folklore, and slow burn romance into a story about fate, curses, and the desperate desire to survive. At its core, it asks a haunting question: can love rewrite destiny when death is already written? Now, I will also say this one is made by Dumundie. If I'm saying that wrong, please correct me. If I'm saying it correctly, great, awesome. Let me know that too. But yes, so a lot of the ones we've talked about so far have been GMMTV. And yes, GMMTV will probably be talked about a lot just because they make so many. They have so many couples that, like, they're always there. We're being well fed by GMMTV right now. Like, they have an all-star list of BLs set for this year to come out. So there's tons that I have to watch for GMMTV, don't get me wrong. However, because there are so many, it will take me a bit longer to get through all of those. With some of the other production companies, they don't have as many couples as GMMTV does, so I might end up watching those a bit first. But if you are familiar with Dumundie, you will know some of the people who are in this. I'm not aware of any of the stuff they've acted in before this one. I know they will be in some stuff coming up soon this year, so, like, you also have that to look forward to. And you know what? If you are unaware of what Dumundie is, they're just a production company, similarly to GMMTV, who makes a lot of different shows, and their popular ones tend to be their BLs, which, love them. Love the companies that they have out there in Thailand. They're doing an amazing job in Thailand with the companies that the stuff they're coming out with, and the capacity of things that they're coming up with, and the time frame in which they're doing it. Good job to them, because the way that they're making these shits up, like setting these shits up to come out, wow. The timelines they have, I don't know how they're hitting them, but they're doing an amazing job. So keep up the good work out there, y'all. Like, y'all doing it. Truly, they're out there doing their shit. You know what's so funny? Not even completely off topic. The hairstyle that my character has right now, I actually do have right now myself. So, sorry, sidetracked. Let's get back into the show. Let's get into our characters. We have Khemjira, Khem, who he will be referred to as Khem a lot. That's what they call him a lot in the show. He's a university student born into a cursed family where male heirs die before turning 21. Given a feminine name to deceive death, Khem lives in constant fear as spirits grow stronger the closer his birthday approaches. He's gentle, anxious, yet emotionally resilient. We have Paran, a powerful shaman and a spiritual practitioner with deep knowledge of curses, spirits, and ancient rites. Stoic and controlled, he becomes Khem's protector and, eventually, something far more personal. We have Jetana, who often in the show is referred to as Jet. He is Khem's loyal best friend. He also happens to be a disciple under Paran. He is brave, protective, and deeply concerned. Jet refuses to abandon Khem even when the supernatural danger escalates. He also is in something of a ship with our following character, Chanwit. Chan, which is pretty much what they refer to him most of the time in the show. And also, if I'm saying the names wrong, once again, you guys know I'm going to say this every fucking time, y'all. Please correct me if I am wrong. I would love to know if I'm saying things wrong. Please correct me, because I'd rather know than not, you know? Please fix it if I'm not saying anything right. Chanwit, Chan, he is a grounded friend within Khem's circle who provides emotional balance and realism amid the chaos. We have Rangpung. She is a vengeful female spirit tied directly to Khem's family curse. Her presence embodies unresolved grief, rage, and karmic consequence. We have Khemika, Jintana, Chayada, Pawat, and Chayod. They're all past lives, and that's why I kind of group them together, because they are important, but they're not. Their importance is all grouped together because they all relate. Like that is their past lives of some of the people in the show, who are also important in the connection to not only our four main characters, but also the curse that Khem is dealing with. And our very last but not least person is Grandma C. She's a spiritual leader and Paran's surrogate grandmother. She's an important person to the group as she does stand to be a voice of reason and helpful guidance, especially when the gang is having a hard time. And now, let's get into the show. I'm also going to say I will refer to the four main people, or their little group will probably be referred to as their gang, or the group, because it's just easier for me to talk about them as one whole thing versus trying to say all their names. So if you hear that a lot in here, go with it. Just go with it, babes. We're just going to flow. So let's get into the show. Now, we are introduced to Khemjira, a university student living under a terrifying family curse. Every male heir dies before turning 21. We see from a flashback his mother explained to him that his feminine name is a desperate attempt by his family to deceive death. We see him constantly tormented by random spirits, and while we don't know exactly why, what I do know is them spirits look creepy as fuck and evil as hell, and I have to give Domandi props. This shit looked amazing. And them things had me. I should not have been watching it at night, let me tell you that. Strange accidents, nightmares, and spirit sightings begin intensifying as his 21st birthday approaches. We are also introduced to Keem's friend, Jet, who is working under a spiritual master who will be important later. Supernatural activity reaches an all-time high, and Keem narrowly avoids serious harm, making it clear the curse is no longer dormant. Jet, his best friend, notices Keem's worsening condition and refuses to brush it off as stress. He has Khem stay with him in order to protect him, and another near miss occurs, causing Jet to become increasingly concerned. Jet and Khem are at their school club when it is revealed that the trip that they were supposed to take is canceled. The club was supposed to take a trip. Jet uses this as an opportunity and decides to offer his hometown as a trip destination with the hopes of introducing Kem to his master for some help. On the trip to Jet's hometown, we take a road that isn't really advised and encounter a shit ton of evil spirits. An out-of-body shaman saves their bus, who we don't get to see yet, from the spirits, and thankfully they make it in one piece. Jet brings Kem to meet Paran, the out-of-body spirit that we saw, who we didn't get to see. Paran is the powerful shaman with deep spiritual knowledge. Paran immediately senses that Kem is being hunted. Protective wards are placed, and Paran warns that I'm so sorry. Protective wards are placed, and Paran warns that this is not a simple haunting. It's karmic and inherited. Kem begins staying closer to Paran for safety. We get a look at the karmic evil tied to Kem, and I gotta admit, the graphics, these shits did scare me a bit. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, they did scare me. So I'm like, this is also like giving y'all warning, like, do not watch it at night, y'all. Truly, please. We also get a closer look at the other spirit protecting Kem and what exactly ties them together. As Paran's rituals temporarily shield Kem, the two grow closer. Quiet conversations reveal Kem's fear of dying young and Paran's burden as someone who constantly stands between life and death. And after seeing how Kem, his protected spirit, Chayot, and Paran are connected, we see Chayot still holds very strong feelings and tries to take Kem. Paran finds a way to intervene with the help of Kem's mother's spirit. Stick with me here. Kem is able to escape. Chan, another friend of Kem and Jet's, becomes an important character here because once Kem is free, they now have to search to find him. Chan has a strong sense, according to Paran, and he is able to lead them to where Kem is. Once tempers calm, we learn from Chayot who exactly Kem's karmic evil is and why they are attached to him in the first place. And Paran, however, still refuses to intervene with Kem's karmic evil. The vengeful karmic spirit, Rampung, makes her presence unmistakable, and she manages to trap Paran and even hurt him. Thankfully, he escapes, but now he's no longer able to leave his body for fear she will try to attack him again. Kem and Jet, still determined to find a cure for the curse, implore Paran to let them stay till the semester break is over. He basically tells them to do whatever the fuck you want, though he's still trying to seem as indifferent as possible, which I find charmingly stupid. And to everyone's surprise, Chan also makes a decision to stay as well and train under the master to help King. Kem and Paran slowly grow closer. However, there's still some tension due to Paran wanting to keep a distance between them. We even get some connection between Jet and Chan, which is very cute, and they do try to be subtle about it. However, it's pretty obvious. We see a bit of backstory that helps to explain a bit more about Paran's hesitancy with Kem, and more tension begins to push Kem and Paran apart. Jet and Chan are taken to continue their studies with Paran, leaving Kem on his own. While Chan and Jet are meditating, Chan gets a glimpse into their past lives and how he and Jet are connected. Kem goes with Grandma C into the city on a vital force call and encounters an evil spirit. The vital force call turns to shit as we end up in a love triangle and a baby ends up in danger. However, through all of this, Kem gets a glimpse into the past and we see what may have happened to Rampung. So we're getting tiny pieces of the puzzle here, but you know, we're still missing the whole piece. So once that whole situation passes, Kem decides it may be time to give up on Paran, while Chan has another look into his and Jet's past lives. A new love interest, Pong, comes into play for Kem, and we get hints of jealousy from Paran, while an old flame comes back, Prim, into play for Paran. And this shit is all types of fucked up. Like it just is a little messy. It's a little messy. The gang goes to help Prim with a play that her students are putting on. They're surrounded by spirits on the field where the play's massacre occurred. We get more tension and jealousy, but we do also get some cute moments between Jet and Chan. And I have to say, I'm obsessed with this couple. Like, the main couple, don't get me wrong, love them, but this couple, like, I'm still rooting for Kem and Paran, but I'm absolutely loving what they are doing with Jet and Chan. Truly, chef's kiss on the writing and plot lines. Like, they knew what they were doing. Pong takes Kem, Jet, and Chan to a fair, and we get some very cute Jet and Chan moments, while we get some flirting from Pong to Kem, and Paran is sitting at home getting the details from his helpers. Something happens. They are attacked while they're at the fair, and Paran swoops in to help them from afar. Once they get back home, we finally get some alone time between the two pairings. Jet and Chan finally have a talk about what happened in their past lives and their current feelings. We even get an intimate scene from them. And let me tell y'all, I cannot stress this enough how much I love this couple. I really do. But we'll discuss it more at the end, okay? All right. While Kem and Paran are finally starting to realize the intensity between them might be too much to ignore, the gang makes an impromptu visit to Grandma C after finding out she's sick. She tells Paran he needs to find someone to take care of him when she's gone, and it seems like he may be reaching a breaking point in his resolve. Prim and Pong are back in the picture, but basically just for both of them to be told nothing is going to happen because the people that they like are both in love with someone else. So we start to see small efforts from Paran to maybe express something more. We also get a bit of cute times from Jet and Chan, which get a little offset by Jet's uncertainty. Kem and Paran are alone, and Paran finally admits his feelings to Kem. We get the kiss we've all been waiting for, but that's all for now. But that's okay, because we're gonna have more. We are gonna have more come up. Don't worry about it. As we continue forward, Paran and Kem talk about their past lives a bit, and Paran realizes they are all connected and that maybe taking a look into their past lives might not be such a bad idea. This leads them to a huge clue involving Paran's grandfather. It seems someone his grandfather and Grandma C knew may be able to give them more insight into the curse on Kem. Like I had mentioned earlier, we were gonna get more, and I'm here to deliver. Paran and Kem get some alone time, and we finally get a little bit of an intimate scene between them that I really think we all needed, especially now because we all know shit's about to hit the fan. So this moment of love and emotional freeness is a lovely break from all the crazy shit that's about to happen. And of course, like I said, shit does hit the fan. So Grandma C is used as a pawn possessed by Rampung and manages to trick Paran and Kem. Kem is in danger, Paran is injured, and Jet and Chan have finally connected with the monk, who has informed them that something bad is happening and they have to head back now. Through all of this, we get flashbacks explaining exactly what happened to Rampung and why she is so violently after Kem. Which I'm not gonna spoil for everyone, just know the shit that happened to her is wild crazy. Like, this show was already a bit crazy because I'm not really a horror person, but what happened to Rampung, I don't fully blame her for lashing out the way she did, if we're being completely honest. I don't believe in holding grudges because this is a prime example of what it can do to your soul. But I fully understand why she felt the way she did. I don't believe she's right in taking it out on generations of people. It seems a bit unfair, but that's how everyone takes their anger out differently, so now that we finally know why the curse is in place, Kem is now face to face with Rampung. Paran's helpers are able to free him, but there's a casualty in the process. Paran, Jet, and Chan make it, but not in time to save everyone, and we now officially have lost a member of our group due to the curse. I don't want to spoil everything that happened, so please do watch this because everything that happened was a bit crazy to watch. It definitely had me crying, so I'm sure you guys might cry too, but like, that shit was a lot. It was a lot to watch. Kem, not wanting anyone else to get hurt because of him, decides to leave and try to figure out how to break the curse on his own. Jet and Chan aren't okay with Khem just leaving, so they go after him, determined to let him know he can't just leave them behind. They decide together that they will leave the village and head back to Bangkok. While in Bangkok, our three, along with Jet's sister, try to hunker down and keep Khem safe for the time being until his birthday passes. Paran receives a vision of the future of Khem's birthday and sets himself on a mission to save him. That's right, our countryside shaman is making a trip to Bangkok, babes. And he manages to get to Khem just in time. Rampung is in Khem's head, torturing him relentlessly. Paran manages to keep Rampung at bay for now, but she's made it very clear she intends not to hold back. Paran has a plan and invites a special guest to come and help the group. And for those of you who are familiar with Domandi, the special guest, the actor that they brought in, you will probably be just as excited as I was to see who he is. Trust me. Love that man. The plan Paran came up with turned out to be one hell of a ride. Very much pun intended. And our gang is gearing up to face off with Rampung. Rampung is also looking forward to the fight that our gang is preparing to put up. This bitch is 400 something years old. So she's one tough cookie, y'all. For the next part, y'all gonna want to hold on because this shit gets wild crazy. All right, so bear with me. The goal is to stall her as much as possible and wear down that 400-year-old fucking power that she got until midnight, where it will finally be Khem's 21st birthday. Jet and Chan are our first decoys, okay? So this part, please keep up with me, y'all. It's gonna be full steam ahead for this next little bit. We start off pretty good as far as distractions go. However, one wrong word kind of messes that up, and she realizes she's being deceived, leaving Jet and Chan in a bad place as she moves on to her next target. Arriving at the dorms, she believes she is confronting Khem and Paran. However, yet again, another decoy. She's trapped by Jet's sister, while Khem, Paran, and our guest star are trying to get to the next destination for their plan. We are back in the countryside from what I can infer, and they have Khem in a safe enough area. Paran decides to end this nonsense with Rampung once and for all. They fight for a bit while waiting for midnight. Midnight comes and Paran is able to get a hit in, and it looks like Rampung is down. However, villains are never really down for long, and she reveals ever so villainly that just because she said Khem has to die before 21 doesn't mean he's safe at midnight, because this nigga was born at 6 fucking a.m. Because of course. Midnight don't matter, right? Fuck me. Let's throw a Five Nights at Freddy's plot twist in there just cause, why not? Never trust the word a villain says, because they don't stand by shit. We see Paran being attacked on all sides by ghosts, and Khem, seeing the man he loves being attacked, tries to give himself up to save him. Thankfully, we have our monk here, and he was not about to let that happen. The rest of the gang are trying to find out what's going on since they don't know what's happening with Khem and Paran. Paran, seeing no other way, uses the weapon. He was given a weapon by a spirit, and it was crafted by gods to deplete Rampung's ghostly army. However, because he has an earthly body and is not meant to use god weapons, it gravely hurts him in the process. Khem, seeing no other choice, gives himself to Rampung to save Paran. To my surprise, a few loved and missed people show up to help Paran get back up to defeat Rampung. However, once Khem is free from her, she decides to take the monk instead. And the monk pulls out one of the biggest plot twists that I'm sure some of you probably could have guessed. I kind of figured it at some point during that episode, but if you can't, sucks to suck, because I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You're just gonna have to watch it yourself, but the plot twist, Wow, like plot twist of the century for me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, huh? Okay. All this to say, he manages to get Rampung to stop going after Kim and face her own karma. Like, shit. He did that shit. Yes, Kim, now left with the decision to take revenge or free Rampung, decides that it's better to move forward rather than being stuck like she was. With Rampung gone, Kim and Paran got to say their final goodbyes to the people that they missed, and we get to reconnect with the rest of our group. Jet and Chan finally commit. We finally get the scene we were all hoping for from Kim and Paran, and we now get to see what life will be like without constant hauntings, worrying, and mischief.
อยากให้รู้ไว้ครับว่าต่อให้จะเกิดอะไรขึ้นคุณเชษก็ยังมีผมเสมอนะครับ
ให้มึงยอมโดดสะพานไปกับกูอ่ะกูมั่นใจแล้วว่ามึงจะไม่ไปไหน
มีอะไรหรือเปล่าครับตอนนี้ฉันยังไม่ได้กลับไปฝึกวิชาแปลว่าอะไรที่ทำไม่ได้ตอนฉันโตกับมึงวันนี้ฉันทำได้คืนนี้นอนที่ห้องฉันไหม
We get to be, I guess, normal for the most part, and happy endings all around. So let's get into what I thought worked very well and what I didn't really love. What I thought worked well, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's more things I thought that worked well than wow. Let me tell you, there was one thing from this entire show that I didn't like, and I will get to that in a bit. But everything else worked amazingly. The atmosphere and the horror. Yeah, I'm not a horror person. I do not like horror. I don't watch horror. I keep away from supernatural, anything like that. I keep my distance because I believe that shit is stuff that can come back to bite you. I do. However, this series excels at slow creeping dread rather than cheap scares. It had the rituals, the spirits, the silence are all used efficiently. So it did what it needed to do without being like cheap scares the whole time, where like, you know, regular horror movies are always like, ew, something's coming around the corner, the music gets scary, everything's gonna come out at you at once. Like, no, this wasn't that. They used the shit exactly how it needed to be used, and the horror for me wasn't like, them things look scary as fuck, don't get me wrong, them things still scared me, but it worked in a way that I was able to get through it. So like, as someone who does, and I'm emphasizing this so strongly because I swear to God, I do not like horror. I'm not even playing with y'all. Horror is not my forte. I'm the person who, if I'm brought to a horror movie, I will cover my ears and cover my eyes for the entire movie. I'll sit in the middle of everybody. I'll put a blanket over my head. I do not watch horror. It's not for me. This was doable. I was okay with this, especially because of how good it ended up being. Like, it really did it for me. They had the emotional slow burn. Kim and Paran's relationship, loved it. It develops organically. It's rooted in trust and emotional safety. I really loved I really like this. So there's a lot to touch. I really like what the actors did with their characters. I'm not really sure how many of y'all paid that close of attention to like the mannerisms or like the interactions, but it really felt like this was Kem's first time trying anything. He was timid and scared but enthusiastic, and Paran was gentle and slow to accommodate for that, which was an excellent stylistic portrayal on the part of the actors. So brava to them for actually showing the slow awkwardness of someone who's just learning or like being introduced to like being intimate in general. Like it was such a well done portrayal of like a first time relationship. Like I loved how gentle it was. I really do. Like they leaned into that shit hard, and for me it hit exactly what it needed to hit. All right, next, the folklore and the karma. I'm not familiar with Thai spirituality. I'm not familiar with what it entails or like the folklore in general. So for me, I have no idea how much of the story is accurate, you know? Especially because at the beginning at the beginning of the show, there is a disclaimer that warns you that this is a work of fiction. Okay? So please, if anyone wants to give me a history lesson, like please feel free. I would love to learn a bit more about it. If there's anyone who would like to give me some more insight into the folklore and the culture, like I would love to know more. But I just really liked seeing how they kind of took what I would think is like, you know, a part of like a small part of their spirituality and the culture and put it into this show. You know, I don't really know. I don't know it. So I don't know the accuracy of it, but I really liked just seeing how they did it. You know, I thought it was just really nice to have stuff like that. Especially because this is such a spiritual based show. It's literally he's a shaman. Like, so I thought they did a really good job with it. The character vulnerability. Khem's fears feel authentic, and Paran's restraint makes his emotional breakthroughs impactful. I thought that they did a very good job. The actors did an amazing job. Like, everyone in the show did an amazing job portraying their characters in a way that made them feel like the characters. Like, they felt real to me. They felt like real people, and I feel like managing to do that, and especially in a horror show, that's just an amazing trait to be able to accomplish. So like truly like the actors did an amazing job. I kid you not, every single actor did an amazing job with the show. The supporting cast functionality. The friends and family in here don't exist just to fill space. They reflect isolation, concern, moral conflict. I especially loved what they did with the second couple, Jet and Chan. Loved their storyline and the slow build of the main couple, but like they let the secondary couple shine in their own way. Like they had them doing stuff way faster than the main couple, but like that was how their characters dynamic were. So it was like it didn't feel foreign to see them boldly jump towards a relationship faster than Khem and Paran did, because that was just their characters were bold. Their Jet and Chan were bolder characters, and it felt natural. Like I cannot emphasize it enough how much I really enjoyed the show. Like I'm not even of all the shows that I watched from 2025 so far, this one has to be the highest rated one for me. Really, truly does. Now, let's talk about the one thing that I did not really care for. The only thing that upset me, only thing out of the entire show, and that is saying something, the only thing that upset me about this show was the ending of the curse. And just the ending of the curse. I like how the show ended. How we got to the end of the curse was, for me, a bit anticlimactic. After all the fighting and sacrifices, I kind of expected them to fight and, you know, get rid of Rampung in a more dramatic way. I mean, we got there like either way, you know, but it just felt super built up to inevitably just kind of like fizzle out, you know? And that could just be me. That could just be something I felt. But this is also my opinion, so that's why I'm saying it. But like everything else from the show, I really did love. I loved this. I'm not even kidding y'all. I really loved this show so much. I loved it so much. Overall, Khemjira 9.5. probably 9.8 out of 10 daggers. Like, y'all, when I said, like, this show is so Blue approved, I cannot scream from the rooftop enough how much I love this show. I swear it would have most likely been a 10 if the ending didn't feel as anticlimactic as it did. Like, if the ending of the curse didn't feel as anticlimactic as it did. I swear that's really what took the small bit of points away from me. It was the end, how they got to the end of the curse. That was it. Khemjira is a haunting, emotionally grounded Thai BL that prioritizes atmosphere, vulnerability, and spiritual tension. It's less about spectacle and more about quiet fear, trust, and the fragile hope that love can interrupt fate. A must-watch for fans of supernatural BLs, folklore-driven storytelling, and slow burn emotional intimacy. Now, I want to know what you guys thought about it, because I cannot rave about this show enough. Do you believe fate can be broken or only delayed? Did you see Paran more as a protector, a lover? Did you see him as both? And was Rampung a villain, a victim, or something kind of in between? You guys know how I felt about it. You guys know how I feel about it. This show, until another one comes out that I can like rave about from the rooftops like this one will be probably on my number one for a while until I see another one that like tops it. But this one, they did such a good job with this show. Now I'm gonna stop hyping it up. You guys watch it for yourself. You let me know. Give me feedback on what you guys thought about it, because I thought it did such a good job. It's such a good job. But that is all for now. I will leave us here. Let's cut the feed, babes, because my work here is done.